Hello, and welcome again to Falls Victories. I guess I'll call this episode Humble Pie for Night Eyes. Um, the player who is Night Eyes is the Zerg player here at the top in blue. Of course, this is Vol's Victories, so Vol wins. Night Eyes was very much a braggart player. As you see, he's beginning his play by doing a little recon and harassment with his drone. I figure when a Zerg player like this likes to harass, I know immediately that they're going to do what has become known as the Bangling Bust. So he begins his gameplay by just moving around. So he's going to do more than harass. He's going to harass. He's going to not only do recon, but he's going to do some harassment. And as you can see, he puts an extractor. And as you can see from his commentary, he said lots of laughs. So you know that this guy is a bit cocky, and you know there's no humility in his heart. There's no kind of humility in his heart. You know, I have no problem with somebody being feeling very good about themselves. But it's another thing to be a braggart, you know, when you're good at what you do. So here I am. I'm still dealing with his harassment. It's very good harassment, but at this point, I already know what he's going to do. He's going to go for a Bangling Bust. And as you can see from my gameplay, I'm going to try to stop that. So he goes in all in with his extractor, and I have my barracks up. And as soon as that's up, I'm going to produce some Marines. And eventually I'm going to go back to put a bunker there. That's what it is, called a bunker. So let's go back up at the top here. As you can see here, he's got gas going. And he's got his spawning pool ready. And of course, with that done, he's going to produce his Zergling. Or as we call it in the StarCraft 2 world, Speedlings. Or StarCraft world, Speedlings. So there they go. I decide just to allow my SCV to destroy the extractor because I really don't want him to know what I'm doing. You know, I don't want him to know how many Marines I have. I don't want him to do any of that. So that's the reason why I really didn't commit my Marines to destroying the extractor here. So as the count goes, I have 16 SCVs to his 15 drones. And let me speed up the action, okay? Oh, as you can see too here, he has started another hatchery down in the south at the gold. Let's speed things up a bit because I only have 15 minutes on here. So I'll speed it up until he gets to my door. So we're going to speed it up, speed it up. You know what's going to happen. Boom, boom, boom. Look at all these Banglings. He's got a bunch of Banglings. I, on the other hand, have put together a starport for some Banshee play, and I put together another command center. Now the foolishness I did do is that I teched up to siege tank mode, but never went into siege tank mode. Foolish of me. But the funny thing is that mistake may have saved my life in this game. So he's at 17 Bangling, 19 Zergling, 18 drones, 17 drones now, and 1 queen. Here he goes. And as usual is the case, once that's done, he sends in the rest. So as the game goes on, you'll see how my little foolishness kind of helped me out in so many ways. I decide to create another barracks. And he sends in more speedlings. He has now 26 speedlings that he is sending to my base with my puny Banshee, my tank, and 1 Marine. But thank goodness that my tank was in siege mode. The splash damage is giving me some advantage. Another tank comes out. We stop him at the door, but he takes out a supply depot of mine. Thank goodness I put some supply depots here up at the top. And I am now at 24 SCVs. He's at 18 drones. Now we will see what the difference of this will be. Now I have the tendency to look at players such as MVP, Happy, and I pretty much like their play because they play as Terrans, but they play as Terrans as if they were Zerg. So they really like to saturate their mineral line, and I think that's what the Terran should do. You should play like a Zerg, you know. A lot of people like to play the Spanishiwa build, and I say to myself, thank goodness that this guy here, Night Eyes, didn't do the Spanishiwa build. He did more of the, I would say, the Laylock. I believe his name is Laylock build, where they go for Banglings and Zerglings and Roaches. With here, that's what he did, and I was able to compensate for it by really doing the 1-1-1 build. So I do a little harassment with my Banshee. Little harassment goes a long way. I'm going to take out this Spore Crawler. And I'm going to die. I should have probably looked around more with that, but my ultimate goal at the bottom here was to really put together a heavy Marine core. So while he's doing that, while I'm doing that, at the corner, he was putting together his spire here and put together a group of Mutalisk to harass my mineral line. Now, I kind of knew that this was going to happen eventually, so I decided to commit my troops to attacking him because I knew that I would be well off. I know that to some degree I'm in the lead here. So I allow him to attack my orbital commander. I'm a command, while I'm in the phase of attacking him. So, and spewing out Marines. So I said, you know what, this thing in here is gonna hold. Let's look at the top now. Up at the top, I'm committed. I'm committed because I know that my economy is better than his economy, and he doesn't have much of a military force on the ground nor in the air. Now let's go back down here. All those mutalisks are all gone now. Oh, now they're gone. And one escaped and ran away. I'm gonna go right back at the top. Where my Marines are putting in work. I send in some Banshees to finish taking out this layer. So I have a plan in mind. My plan is to, take out his, those things that build for him, those things that give him his Mutalisk, those things that give him his Roach, so that he may be able to get to the next tech level, military levels for him to win in this. And in talking to and listening to MVP, he said, "Hey, you know what? The Terrans are the weakest race. I don't care what the Protoss have to say. People who like playing with Protoss or Zerg have to say. The Terrans are the weakest." So his advice was be, as far as being Terran is concerned, he said, "Be aggressive. Be aggressive." And even though Night Eyes was the aggressor for the beginning of this. In many ways, he hit on a bee's hive when he started playing with me. So here I go again. I'm sending out my 14 Marines and 2 tanks. So I'm going to end this right now because I only have 15 minutes of this. So come to the next chapter of this game. Thanks for watching. Bye now.